I'm proceeding with my series of episodes from Dubai, and here I'm looking for things that can surprise us. So now I've come to a knowledge park. Dubai Knowledge Park is a unique place. It's a kind of a district or a mini city where branches of universities from around the world are located. In this video I'm going to tell you about this place, and we'll visit an educational institution called the SAE Institute, specializing in creative media. Before I move on to the main topic of the video, let me show you where I am right now and all the beauty that surrounds me here.
We have a Bachelor of Audio, Animation, Graphic Design and Visual Communication, Film, Games Development, and we have launched a new diploma in Augmented and Virtual Reality, where students who are graduating in these different sectors and fields, they do have lots of opportunities in terms of career. Can be being employed in creative media agencies, in production houses, in studios, but also to enter the field of entrepreneurship. The field of creative media never stopped. On the contrary, it was giving more and more production, more and more work for audiences and for people to see. So students, they can start their journey and their academic journey in Dubai campus, and at the diploma level, which means that after the duration of 1 year, they can transfer to other SAE campuses. But the most popular one is the transfer that happens between Dubai and Australia and Internet City, and we're also close to Studio City. So these places are hubs for production houses, agencies, studios, recording. So again, being in the middle of these different creative agencies, it makes it very easy for the students to network with employers or like to find internship with these companies. So SAE sorts out internship opportunities for every student because this is part of the curriculum that we teach. And all faculty are industry professionals, okay? Because you cannot separate the teaching process and the knowledge that they have from the industry where they are working. Otherwise, the information and the skills that they are giving to the students will be outdated.
I'm walking around the area. I want to show you what it is like. By the way, right now a visa office is beside me, and you can see these pavements with bike paths over here. Everything is green around me. The city has changed for the better a lot within the last few years, and that's what I like about Dubai. It's constantly changing, and only in a positive way. And they really worked a lot on landscaping. I've been here for the last time in 2019, and it has changed a lot over the last 3 years. I wish I knew what all these buttons mean. Guys, the Emirates hosts a huge number of events, including concerts and various platforms hosting. And of course, you know that top equipment is needed for this. SAE students are able to participate in all these events. And SAE specialists, I'm talking about the teachers, they all come from the industry, so they've got contacts here. And Knowledge Village itself, all this territory with universities from all over the world, is already a big community. Plus, there is a media village where different companies are based. For instance, I walked by BBC Studios and I was told the university has very tight connections with the companies. By the way, in the third year, you can get an internship, and that is working practice in the company, and get necessary contacts, prove yourself, and get a job afterwards.
The UAE is probably the country with the most diverse population that I have ever come across. People from all over the world come to the UAE, and specifically to Dubai. Dubai is known as one of the most cutting-edge, forward-thinking, modern cities in the world. It is not only a business hub in the world, a travel hub in the world, but it also has become a hub for education. The UAE, Dubai, and the other Emirates as hubs for education that attract talent from all over the world. This is an amazing city. It is safe, it is beautiful, it gives you an international experience mixing with people from all over the world. It is centrally situated. You can travel from here easily to reach anywhere from, whether it is you want to go to Europe, whether you want to go to Africa, whether you're wanting to go to Eastern Europe. And because it is so well known as a business hub, the experience that you build up being in this environment is unrivaled in the world. It's just amazing. My belief is that if you have worked and lived and studied in Dubai, you really have the foundations to work and live and study and move anywhere else in the world. So SAE originally started as the School of Audio Engineering. That's where the SAE comes from. School of Audio Engineering was launched in 1976 in Australia. Grew to become the world's largest private tertiary education institution that specializes specifically in creative media education. So when it comes to creative media, we talk about the disciplines of animation, game design, film production, graphic design, audio engineering, virtual reality, augmented reality, those kind of creative media disciplines. SAE has grown to become the world's largest private university that focuses on creative media education exclusively. Currently, about 47 campuses across 23 countries in the world. Probably in Australia, where they originally started. So the biggest campus would be in Australia. So if you look at any university that you would find within the UAE, SAE has the largest number of students that are registered with us by choice to study creative media. It's actually really exciting what's happening in the creative media industry in the Middle East right now. And I'm not just talking about in the UAE. Traditionally, there has always been a big focus on a product-based economy here. And the main product being oil and services products like, for example, tourism. We all know Dubai is the tourism capital of the world. It's a fantastic place to come and visit. The local authorities, the local government, the visionary leaders of the UAE have also put out the challenge to change the economy from a services and product-driven economy to what is referred to as a creative or knowledge-driven economy. which means the focus on creative skills. Creating an economy where people are skilled to use their creative abilities to generate an income and become economically viable in all of the creative media disciplines for young people who are passionate about their creative abilities to be able to develop that not only into something that you do just because, as a hobby, but to build a career out of it. Imagine if you are working in something that you feel so passionate about that you want to do it every single day. You want to be a photographer, you want to be a filmmaker, somebody like yourself, you work in this industry. It's not work, it's like you living your passion. And that opportunity exists for young people today. And that really excites us because that's what we are passionate about. Creating the opportunity for young people to use their passion and their skills and build a really, really well-paid and lucrative career out of it. So we get the question often, what percentage of your students does an internship while they're studying at SAE? The answer is very simple. All of them. Every single student, 100% of the students that study at SAE must complete an internship before they can graduate. So it's part of your requirement to complete your studies. We are situated here in Dubai Knowledge Park, which is surrounded by Dubai Media City for a good reason. Dubai Media City is where our students find their internships, where we have industry relations, where our students get the opportunities for placements. So we are very well situated for students to be able to get that foot into the industry. Talk about events, for example. Now, just to bring it back to one of the things that is happening in the industry that is really exciting to us, and that is the development of the gaming industry, for example. Now, if you think of esports has developed to the point where you can have thousands of people in a stadium watching two competitors play an esports event, competing on FIFA. And you have thousands of people attending that event in a stadium. But not just in the stadium, it gets streamed all over the world where literally hundreds of millions of people are watching this. It's at the same level as you would have an actual sport event where you need project managers, you need sound engineers, you need film producers, you need internet specialists, you need people that can build sets, you need people that are photographers, you need graphic designers, you need animators to put this event together. So just one of the newly developing industries in the creative media space is creating all of this opportunity. It's about finding what your passion is and turning your passion into the purpose of your life. That is what we believe in. That passion, that creative passion that you really feel is something that motivates and inspires you, and building that into a career. How wonderful to be able to do that.
And there is a subway station located next to Knowledge Park and SAE in just 10 minutes walk. And by the way, signs are everywhere. You can always check where to go. To Dubai Marina is to the right. Media City is also to the right. In about a 20 minutes walk. There is also Internet City, and that's where I am right now. So I am surrounded by hubs, well, let's call it this way. It's media hubs, internet hubs, IT giants, different IT giants, and media companies, of course, connected to media.
They are really the rock stars of SAE. All of our lecturers are people that are seasoned professionals from industry. So they are all people that have worked in industry for many years. They know the industry, and we encourage them to continue working in industry while they are working as academics. So they know exactly what is the most recent developments that are happening in industry, so that they can bring that experience back to the students into the classroom. Like I mentioned earlier, we have about 47 campuses across 23 countries. We operate as a branch of SAE Australia. So we are typically exactly the same as an SAE campus in Australia. We are just situated in Dubai. If a student comes and studies here, they can transfer from SAE Dubai to one of those campuses that are situated either in Australia or one of the other countries. So it's an easy transfer. So many students will use this as an opportunity for an international pathway to start their first year here, and then once they've completed their first year, they find the appropriate campus where they can get the most credits, and then they can transfer over there and they can continue their studies. So obviously you need to have the entry requirements for studies at a university. But you need to have completed grade 12, which means schooling must be done. Minimum of 17 years old, and then also you need to have proficiency in English. If we normally have an English exam that we have a partnership with one of the language schools here in Dubai. If you have been studying at a school that uses English as the language of instruction, then you just need to give us a letter and proof from the school that will say that you have studied in an English school, and then that's fine. I always say, you don't become a photographer because you have bought a camera. It's like saying you become a chef because you own an oven. So when it comes to showing your passion for your talent, of course, we would love you to have a portfolio that you can put forward as evidence. And we find that most students have this. If they are passionate about game development or game design, they would have experimented with doing some games development and game design. Maybe they've written some games at some point. They've done some animations, graphic designs. You have to have that passion, that burning desire to develop something that's already there. And the way that you see that talent is by what you have done in the past. You know, if you're a photographer, you never go anywhere without your camera, even if that camera is your mobile phone. But you will always see pictures, stories that you want to capture, a moment that you want to capture. That's the passion of a creative. They look out for these opportunities. So apart from having completed your grade 12 at school, being 17 years of age, being proficient in English, of course, the more evidence you can give us for the passion, creative passion that you have, the better. There are so many. Our students do amazing work. You know, in the UAE, at the moment, because they are trying to attract creative talent into the UAE, they are offering golden visas. So a golden visa means that you can work and live in the UAE for a period of up to 10 years. Okay. All right, so it's a very sought after visa that very few people get, except if you are a creative student and you can show that passion. We have students that have graduated from SAE that have already got their golden visas, which means they can work, they can live here, they can sponsor their families to come here, and there's many examples of that. I studied in South Africa in a town or a city called Port Elizabeth in the eastern part of South Africa. I originally studied to become a teacher. And I loved my time as an educator. I still love teaching. I think development of people and guiding people to realizing their full potential is really, you know, a passion of mine. I was very young when I became a school principal. Through that, I also then started my own consultancy to develop people that were wanting to grow in their respective industries. That helped me to transition into running a project for a private university group, and eventually I ended up there as principal of one of their campuses in Cape Town, South Africa, where I was working at the time. I then eventually ended up as the national general manager for this group of private universities that specialized specifically in creative media and creative education. And then the opportunity came up to move to Dubai, and it's such a fantastic opportunity to be in this city. So I grabbed it with both hands, and here I am. It's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. My wife, I have 2 daughters. They are so happy here. We have settled in amazingly well. There is so much to do and to see and to experience in Dubai. People might think that Dubai and the UAE is just a desert country. It's not. It is some of the most amazing experiences that you can have anywhere in the world, and also a place to study, a place to live, a place as a base to move into the rest of the world. You have a very cosmopolitan group of people that are living in and working in this city, which opens up the world to people. Once you have been in Dubai, I believe you can go anywhere, because you have been exposed to so many different cultures.
Another studio in the SAE. Now guys, this is a DJ studio, which I guess will be loved by people who love music and track mixing. Here in the SAE, you can take a course, learn DJing, and by the way, they also do summer and holiday programs here, where you can come and taste the atmosphere of creative media. What I also like about this place is that the studying here is not only about studying, it's also about your interests and hobbies. So here is the stand where you can see what students can do in their free time. And for example, there is an art club here, like a dance club, photography club, and press club. And if you have some interests, you can get together with other students to develop together and enjoy doing what you love, and that's really great.